I'm not asking you to forget about the two-game winning streak, but it's time to begin to shift focus to this week's opponent, and that's the New York Giants. Look, take a break from looking for who dat cat, and let's talk to our man in the know in New Jersey. He's coming up next on the Black and Gold Today. Welcome to the Black and Gold Today, sponsored by Cadillac of New Orleans. I'm your host who is ignoring the World Series begins tonight, Jim Derry. What's better than winning 2 in a row? How about 3 in a row? Well, at least that's what Lou Brown said.
All right, you guys, let's listen up. We won a game yesterday. And if we win one today, that's 2 in a row. We win one tomorrow, that's called a winning streak. It has happened before. So let's see some hustle. Let's jack it up a little. I got a feeling things are about to turn around for us.
Okay, so maybe I still can't get baseball off the brain, but you know what, Lou is right, you know. One more win, and sure as Roger Goodell hates the Saints, that would most certainly be a winning streak. But it won't be easy. Coming to town on Sunday are the hometown boys Eli Manning and Odell Beckham, along with the rest of the New York Giants. And they're in first place in the NFC East after beating the Dallas Cowboys last weekend. Like the Saints, the G-Men also had a bit of a slow start, losing their first 2 before righting the ship and winning 4 of their next 5. Well, to talk about this and to find out something about the boys in blue we didn't know, we turn to Jordan Raanan, who covers the Giants for our sister site, New Jersey Advanced Media at NJ.com. And Jordan, thanks for coming on the show.
Of course, absolutely. I mean, that's a tough act to follow, Lou Brown. I mean, I don't know if I could create brilliance like that.
I know you can't beat Lou Brown, but let's see what we can do. Hey, let's talk about the similarities between these two teams. Albeit with 2 heartbreakers, the Giants started 0-2, Saints opened 0-3 before Eli seemed to take charge and turn some things around. Have they convinced you they're a contender now?
Well, it depends what you define competitor. Are they a competitor in the NFC East? Absolutely. The division's terrible. They're in prime position right now. Are they a contender to do real serious damage right now? I mean, I'm not sure I would go that far and say that in the NFC East. They still have their problems, this team. They're still defensively, they're short on talent. I mean, they're plus 10 and they're 4-3 and barely sneaking by a bunch of games. So plus 10 with the turnovers, at least differential. That's what I'm referring to there, which is best in the league. So, this team does some things well. They're better on special teams than they have been in years past. They're better than they have been in years past where they missed the playoffs 3 straight years. Are they a great team? Certainly not. Competitor for division, yes. For the NFC, I'm going to say no at this point.
What's the mood among Giants fans? Do they believe?
It's really a split. I think there's the eternal optimists that are obviously always out there. They like what they see. There's the Eli backers out there. They think that Eli can always take them where they want to go. But in general, I think people still aren't completely sold on this team. There's just too many deficiencies at this point.
Sounds like New Orleans. And the defense has had its ups and downs over there, but they came up with some key turnovers Sunday against Dallas. That was against Matt Castle, and this week they get Drew Brees. How do you think the defense matches up against the Saints offense?
Well, they're not particularly strong against the pass, so this might be problematic for them. Drew Brees in the Dome could have a big game. Look, the Giants are 29th or 30th, I forget, in total defense. They're averaging over 400 yards a game, so that actually bodes well for the Saints' offense. And if there's one thing the Giants are susceptible to, it is, speed and speed pass rush. Now, I don't know. The Saints, their defense definitely has their problems too, as you're well aware.
No question.
But they could create some problems for the Giants on the edges, I think, in regards to pass rush. Now, what the Giants have done well is get the ball out of Eli's hands very quickly. They have Odell Beckham, who's their top playmaker, and they made enough plays defensively on special teams. Special teams has been a big key for this team this year. Won in that last game against Dallas. So, the matchup, I think, is a little troublesome because the Saints have that offense that can really give this defense troubles. The Giants haven't played a real quarterback since week 2 when they played Matt Ryan. And look, if you look at it, they lost their 2 games when they played Tony Romo and Matt Ryan. The rest of the games, weak offenses they've gone against, they've managed to make just enough plays.
Well, they should have beat Tony Romo, but we won't get into that.
They should have beat Matt Ryan, too, while we're at it. But, they did give them troubles, and both of them did drive down the field for game-winning scores.
Right. Well, it seems like every season Coach Tom Coughlin is under fire, and then he finds a way to keep going. Has he mellowed a bit, and how do the young players respond to the oldest active coach in the league?
I don't know about mellowed, but he's definitely changed his ways. You see things like the Giants have a recovery day. They don't practice on Fridays now. They're trying all new sorts of sports science things. I think Coughlin is less hands-on probably than he was in the past. Ben McAdoo kind of runs the offense. Steve Spagnuolo runs the defense. So he's kind of adjusted, but what he does, and he still has the players' ears, and he's able to, when things go poorly, the thing in the NFL is you got to keep it together, and I think that's the key, and he's able to do that. Well,
lastly, before we let you go, both teams are playing fairly well right now, and they have gained a ton of confidence over the past few weeks. How do you see Sunday playing out?
I see a high-scoring game right now. I think this is a tough spot for the Giants. Going against a quarterback that can really throw the ball and can take advantage. They have some definite weak spots on their defense. I'm talking talent-wise. That Drew Brees and Sean Payton are going to sit there this week and be like, whoa, this is an area we can exploit. Whoa, this is another area we can exploit. Hey, look, here's another area we can exploit. So they're going to have plenty of options on offense. And the Giants' offense in particular, they're going to need their offense in this game to really play well. Now, the Saints' defense has at times, especially earlier in the year and the past couple of years, been the recipe for struggling offenses. Now, the Giants' offense has not played great of late. They're going to need to put up a lot of points on the board in order for them to have a chance to win this game. I'm not so sure if they're playing well enough, if Odell Beckham maybe is healthy enough at this point. I think he's pretty healthy, but he's their only really serious weapon. I'm not sure that's going to be enough in this week going down to New Orleans.
Well, I'm not sure who's going to cover him. But Jordan, thanks for joining us on what I'm guessing is supposed to be your day off.
Yeah, no worries. There is no days off in this business. You should know that by now.
I do know that. Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you soon. And we'll be right back with Tuesday's Extra Point.
What's one of the nicest things that comes with your new Cadillac from Cadillac of New Orleans? 0% interest.
Get 0% interest on all new Cadillacs, now at Cadillac of New Orleans. New owners, new attitude, on Lime Street in Rye in Metairie.
For today's Extra Point, I offer a belated happy birthday to Jacqueline Smith, who unbelievably turned 70 on Monday. For those of you who have no idea who I'm talking about, well, then you obviously didn't grow up in the late 1970s and early 80s, and that would be a real shame. Anyway, why do we salute this lovely lady on a football show? Well, first off, I write the script and thought it was a good idea, and second, well, I thought it was a good idea. Well, when I was 11, I had two posters on my wall, one with a picture of Archie Manning and the 1979 Saints, and another of Charlie's Angels. It really was sort of a holy wall. You know, Saints, Angels, get it? No? Anyway, Jacqueline Smith was the only Angel to make it all the way throughout the run of the original series, and what a show! You know, if I had to choose only one poster I could keep back then, it would have been a heck of a choice. The 79 Saints were the first team in team history to win as many as 8 games and just missed a playoff berth, finishing 1 game behind the Los Angeles Rams, who ended up as a participant in Super Bowl 14. Saints didn't go that far, and they didn't make the playoffs for a little while after that. But I can tell you, had we been comparing Charlie's Angels to the 1980 Saints, that would have been easy, since that team lost its first 14 games and went 1-15. Well, on that happy note, let's leave it at that, and happy birthday, Jacqueline. Don't forget in the poll, and we'll talk to you tomorrow when Larry Holder joins us to talk about his world-famous prognosticating skills. See you then.